Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, today I'm going to be stepping into the role of your financially obsessed older sibling. You know, the one who's already spent hours buried in spreadsheets and research so that you absolutely don't have to. We are tackling a massive and honestly super stressful pain point for so many couples: how to actually manage your money together. If you've ever felt that awful friction of trying to merge your finances, trust me, you are in the exact right place. Let's just get right into it. They earn $10,000 a month together, and they fight about money every single month. You see, the problem here is not the money. The problem is the absolute lack of a system. Seriously, that is the real reason so many couples clash. It isn't that one person is spending way too much or that one person earns a bit less. No, it's that they're running two completely different mental models of what their shared money is actually supposed to do. Think about it. Maybe one of you grew up in a household where the strict rule was always save first, ask questions later. But the other? Maybe they grew up with a, hey, enjoy it now, we'll figure it out later mindset. And here's the thing, neither approach is inherently wrong, but without a clear system in place, those unspoken rules just silently crash into each other every single month. You end up arguing over electricity bills, holiday plans, or how much goes into savings. The fix here is a money operating system. So today we're building that exact system together, step by step, across 4 key pillars. 1, the architecture. 2, the fair split. 3, the CPF strategy. And 4, the wealth plan.
All right, part 1, the money architecture. How to structure your accounts for transparency and autonomy.
Now, when we set this up, we really want to avoid the extremes. We definitely don't want one completely merged account where every single dollar blurs together, but we also don't want fully separated accounts where literally nothing is shared. Instead, we're going with a hybrid 3-bucket architecture. Bucket number 1 is your joint household account. This is strictly for shared expenses. Think your mortgage, the utilities, the groceries, the whole shebang. And pro tip here, you can use accounts like the OCBC 360 or the DBS multiplier for this bucket to unlock some genuinely great higher interest rates simply by combining your qualifying transactions and salary crediting. Then bucket 2, your individual personal accounts. One for you, one for your partner. Full autonomy. Finally, bucket number 3 is your optional but super powerful joint wealth account. This one's for those shared long-term goals, like maybe a property upgrade down the line or a fund for the kids' education.
Okay, notice how this setup just instantly resolves the most common couple conflict. That joint piggy bank is doing all the heavy lifting of your shared living expenses. But those personal accounts, that is exactly where your autonomy lives. That personal account handles your morning COPK, your gym membership, your hobbies, with literally 0 questions asked. There's no asking for permission, which means there's no brewing resentment. You get complete transparency where it actually matters and absolute autonomy where it should exist. It's a total game changer. Moving on to part 2, the fair split. How to divide expenses when your incomes differ.
Honestly, this is the question that causes more arguments for couples in Singapore than almost anything else. Who pays for what? Doing a strict 50-50 split usually feels really unfair when your incomes are different. But on the flip side, just having one person informally pay for everything creates these invisible, kind of toxic power imbalances. So the absolute key here is using a proportional contribution model. Let's break down the math on this table. Say partner A takes home $6,000 a month, that's 60% of their $10,000 combined income. Partner B takes home $4,000, which makes up the remaining 40%. Now, if their joint monthly household expenses total $5,000, partner A pays 60% of that bill, which is $3,000. Partner B chips in their 40%, which is $2,000. Now, the absolute magic of this system, and I mean real magic, is what happens with the money that's left over. Partner A keeps $3,000 of completely personal money. Partner B keeps $2,000. Why does this matter? Because for both of them, that leftover amount represents the exact same proportion. 40% of their personal disposable income is retained just for themselves. It is fair, it's not equal, but it's completely fair. Yes, the higher earner is contributing more in absolute dollars, but no one feels like they're a financial burden, and nobody feels like they're unfairly picking up all the slack. Now, I know what you're thinking. What happens if one partner takes a career break, maybe for a baby or to go back to school? Obviously, a strict proportional model would mean they contribute 0, which can swing the pendulum and make things feel really unequal in the other direction. Well, the fix for this is actually pretty simple. You just agree in advance on a minimum floor contribution during that break, even if it is just a symbolic $200 a month. It keeps some skin in the game for both partners, and it successfully avoids those dangerous power imbalances we talked about earlier. All right, part 3, the CPF strategy. 2 accounts, 1 retirement plan.
Okay, this right here is where couples have a massive, honestly underutilized advantage over singles in Singapore. You literally have two CPF accounts, two sets of top ups, and two incredible tax relief opportunities. If you actually coordinate them, your combined retirement engine becomes unbelievably powerful. So here is the three-step coordinated playbook. Step 1. Identify the income disparity and top up the lower earners special account first. Look, the higher earners essay is already growing faster naturally, right? So you really need to equalize those retirement funds to make sure both partners are going to have a sufficient CPF life payout down the road rather than just one of you having a massive account. Step 2 is where it gets really fun. Stack your tax relief. You can contribute up to $8,000 a year to your own SSA or RA to get tax relief, sure. But did you know you can also contribute up to $8,000 to your partner's account? That gives you a combined household tax relief of up to $16,000 every single year. Depending on your tax bracket, this brilliant little move is literally going to save you thousands of dollars in actual cash annually. And then we have step 3, which is coordinating your CPF life payout ages. Let's say one partner wants to retire a bit earlier, at 65. The other partner can actually defer their payouts until age 70. And why would you do that? Because every single year you defer, your payout increases by roughly 7%. If both of you hit the full retirement sum and use this deferral strategy, your projected combined monthly CPF life payout from age 70 could be sitting around $4,277. And that is guaranteed for life, completely regardless of what the stock markets are doing. Which brings us perfectly to our final pillar, part 4, the wealth plan: investing, housing, and building together. So how does this couple actually build meaningful wealth beyond just covering their daily expenses and optimizing their CPF? Let's take a look at this visual of their monthly cash flow. Out of that $10,000 combined income, $5,000 goes straight to their joint expenses. Another $2,500 combined is kept aside for their personal autonomous spending. That leaves exactly $2,500 left over every single month. And here's the trick. This money is automatically directed into a joint investment account the exact moment their salaries arrive, literally before they even have a chance to spend it. Now, just look at the sheer power of consistency here. That $2,500 a month, compounding at an average 7% annual return in a globally diversified portfolio, grows to roughly $434,000 in just 10 years. Let that sink in. And remember, this is entirely outside of their CPF. If you factor their combined CPF into the equation, this couple could conservatively be looking at well over $500,000 in net investable wealth in a decade. But, and this is a big but, to actually achieve this, they have to make incredibly smart choices about their housing. Because let's face it, that is the biggest financial decision you will ever make together. A $10,000 income gives them a total debt servicing ratio capacity of about $5,500 a month. Now, while they could technically stretch themselves to the absolute limit for a $1.5 million private condo, picking a comfortable HDB resale between $600K and $800K is the actual strategic move here. It leaves them breathing room. It preserves that critical $2,500 monthly investment capacity we just talked about. And, crucially, it prevents accrued interest from completely eating up their CPF cash proceeds when they eventually decide to sell. So let's pull it all together. The crucial point here is this complete 8-step playbook. You set up a hybrid account architecture, you use a proportional expense split, you agree on a career break floor, you coordinate your SA top-ups, stack that tax relief, and stagger your CPF life payouts. You automatically invest jointly, and you size your mortgage smartly. And you'll notice something really important here. Not a single one of these steps requires a finance degree. It just requires a bit of teamwork. The core message I want you to take away today is pretty simple. The couples who build real, lasting wealth in Singapore, they are rarely perfectly aligned on money from day one. Instead, they sit down and they build a system that runs quietly in the background, doing the heavy lifting, letting them actually focus on their relationship and living their lives. Money does not have to be the thing you fight about. It can absolutely be the thing you build together. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Which of the 4 parts of this operating system are you going to implement with your partner this week? Is it finally setting up that hybrid account structure? Calculating your proportional split, or maybe stacking that CPF tax relief? Do me a favor, share this explainer with your partner right now. Just use it as a low-pressure conversation starter and start building your own system today. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.